Welcome into Birds Huddle, powered by PointsBet. That's Barrett Brooks, and I'm Taryn Hatcher. And we all got some dream team PTSD last week, Barrett, when we saw the quote from Miles Sanders saying that this year's Eagles team is an all-star team. Now, I love high expectations, but over the weekend, his teammate A.J. Brown took to Twitter to defend the running back for maybe, you don't want to jinx it too soon. Here's what Brown had to say. Quote, he's excited about what this team could be. We all are, but we're not an all-star team. We definitely could be with years to come. We have to strap up our pads and prove it every year, and that's what we plan to do. Barrett, kind of a nice thing for AJ to stand up for his new buddy here. That brings us to our three-point stance, presented by your Mercedes. It's Barrett's stance on the three items of the day. Your first stance, A.J. Brown, already proving, as I kind of just alluded to, he's a pretty good teammate here.
No question. He's coming to his bat, as he's supposed to. Of course, to think that it's an all-star team, a little overzealous, but they're just surprised and shocked that, this team has the ability to be very good. They see the talent around them. They understand what they have in that locker room. They're better than they were last year. They know that, and they see that. Now they have high expectations. So why not go out there and think and say that you're better than what you are? I mean, you're supposed to stick by Miles Sanders. He said that because he really believes in the guys that are around him. And plus the players, they see what what this can amount to. I mean, a lot of those guys that are in that locker room were a part of that 2017 season. They saw what they could do. They saw they were able to, they saw that they were able to go out there and really play hardball. And if they come together as a team, there's nothing that can stop them. And that's the biggest thing. So I like the fact that A.J. Brown will stick with his guy, go out there, fight for him. And at the end of the day, that team gels together. They could be a pretty special team.
I love that A.J. Brown try and provide a little bit of maybe clarity on the situations, expanding on it a little bit. But I do love the positivity, the manifestation. The question is, how important is it, though, to keep expectations in check internally?
Well, I don't think they should do that, because I've been a part of an organization where we never did that. When I was playing with the Steelers, and I hate to go back to the Steelers, but I am. We never had those type of expectations that were below. No, we were going to work our butts off, and that's why we were going to produce. We worked so hard that, we just predestined ourselves to be as good as we could be. There's nothing wrong with thinking you're a good team. What's wrong is if you go out there and you don't work to get there. This team is working to get there. You could tell in the reactions on being out there at practice, they're getting the most out of practice whenever they're out there. It's just getting out there. So I'm not shocked that they're thinking what they're thinking. I like that. Keep it up. You know what I'm saying? Keep that type of air about yourself, because it makes you a better player, because you have higher expectations. You got to show everybody else around. If you're going to talk about it, you got to walk about it.
I was going to say, so you got to make the work match the goal. All right, let's move to the second stance, which comes via Ruben Frank's 10 observations. Jalen Hurts is going to be the Eagles' starting quarterback in 2023, Barrett.
No question. Number one, he's cheap. He's very cheap right now. Even though Howie likes to bring his guys to the table and try to sign a below market value, Jalen Hurts still has a little bit more to prove. Like I said, if you look at it, at the 15 starts, he went 8-7 last year. I mean, he doubled the offensive output, the winning output that they had the year before that. They won 8 games. And my expectations of him to have over 26 touchdowns. I think he's going to have over 3,700 yards. I think he's going to have right around 700 yards rushing. Those high expectations will put him in a position where he'll still be the starting quarterback. But if they were to go in a different direction and go out and get one of those younger quarterbacks, it's going to be hard for them to do that. Because I think this team is going to be good, they're going to be right around that 20-win mark, 20 where they select in the draft. So they'll be right around that 20-21 pick, right, if they're as good as I think they are, or probably later than that. But then I also look at the Saints. The Saints have the other first-round pick that's theirs now. So they have to go out there and make sure that, they go out there and prove that he's the guy, Hurts is the guy. So you're not going to be able to get that. The Saints are going to be good. The Eagles are going to be good. So they're not going to have the draft capital that down that further to get a quarterback in that round. They're just not going to do it.
If they're around the 20-win mark, you got to bring Hurts back for 2023, right?
No question. So that's the biggest thing right there. If when around 20, it's going to be one of those things where they're not going to be high enough, no enough down to pick up one of the big-time quarterbacks coming down. Just not.
Well, I just mean when you initially said 20 wins. 20 wins is really setting the bar very, very high. All right, so if you're willing to go 2023 with Hurts. How much further do you have to go? How much more do you have to believe to get to 2024?
Well, if you bring Hurts in and he proves that he's that quarterback, you're going to have to sign him. And he's going to have to sign him. And we're talking about making that commitment to a guy for $35, $40 million. And that's probably the only thing that this organization is really thinking about. Do you sign a quarterback for that much? They've proven right now that they can go without doing that. And you can bring in a lot of other talent. So they're not going to sign him to a big deal right now. But that is always that expectation. And he's going to go out there and make sure he plays to the highest of his capabilities to get that money. He's always gotten better from college getting to the NFL. He's always probably doubled his output the year before. So I can see him going out there and be very, very good and really showing that he is the starting quarterback of this team. He just got to persuade the organization to get along with him.
Yeah. All right, well, that brings us to your final stance. Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs will never come close to being as good as Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. Now, you guys at home may be wondering what prompted this very specific stance. Well, you have to take a look at this quote from Parsons to USA Today. He said, quote, "It's hard to put us over Aaron Donald, the greatest defensive player in history, with Jalen Ramsey, so I won't do it yet. But I think we can become them, or even better, if we learn together and stick together." I mean, Barrett, he flat out says it too. Aaron Donald, the best defensive player in history.
He
But
has
Micah
those type of
Parsons
goals.
believes in himself.
Oh, no question. He believes in himself. He believes in those lofty goals. But the only thing about it, he's got, 31 offensive lines he's going to have to go through to obtain that type of status. And he's not going to sneak up on anybody like he snuck up on him last year. I mean, he was good. Michael Parsons was very good. But they're going to have to hide him a little bit because the teams are going to try to game plan him now. They're going to make sure they know where he is at all times. Number 11 will be a focal point for all offensive coordinators to stop. And then you talk about, Diggs. Okay, Diggs is a good player. But Diggs also had over 1,000 yards receiving on him. Yes, he had 11 picks, but he guessed wrong most of the time. We're talking about over 1,000 yards just caught on him. So, you got to pump your brakes. Yes, he's good. Yes, he had 11 picks because he guessed right 11 times. But the other times he guessed wrong. And he went for touchdowns and everything else. So, come on now. He's nowhere near like a Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey is a much better player. And plus, he plays for Dallas. I can't get with them being anything other than Dallas. Dallas sucks. I mean,
Okay, so the theme of this first segment, grand expectations, will they pan out?